Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich Mittelafrika. Let's continue on from where we last left off. So, France at the moment is trying to justify and take some territory from Switzerland. We do not need to be importing all this steel anymore because, well, because we are making some of our own. Fantastic. So we'll get a little bit of aluminum from the American Union States. Apparently, we actually that doesn't actually fix our problems. We actually have a lot of consumer factories. 40%. That's very not good. Insufficient resources. Yeah, I know about that. I know we're still not have the template for the other things. Don't worry about it too much, game. Enforce the Colonial Act. What does that do? Because I still want to take these colonies from the Portuguese. The ultramarine effort. The Portuguese question. Yes. We shall take this all the way to Berlin, or some of the Portuguese council will deal with this ourselves. We should launch a formal complaint against Portugal. This is these bandits. Yeah, no, we'll deal with it ourselves. We don't need those people in Berlin telling us what to do. Middle Africa, you know, we're our own independent power. We don't need the Germans. Yeah, send in the troops. We'll see if they actually stop us. I'm assuming they are. Okay, Middle Africa's declared war on Portugal. So now we can basically just move straight in. Because, well, what are they going to do? What are they going to do to stop us? Absolutely nothing. Get all of our forces to move in. One of you can move here and take over that port. You go over here. If we can actually take over their ports, that's actually going to be important. So actually ignore that. Your job actually is go straight for the port provinces. Because if they can't land troops in the colonies, then we don't have anything to worry from them. Because I'm assuming that, again, the Portuguese army is rather small. I mean, they have a decent sized navy and they have a decent amount of convoys. But if anything bad happens, we'll just call in Germany, and hopefully our big Kaiser daddy will deal with that for us. Yeah, I mean, field of manpower. I mean, it's slightly in Portugal's favor, but again, I don't think most of their troops are actually within Africa. So I'm not too concerned. We can send you guys here. I screwed that up. Fantastic. And of course, it takes forever to walk anywhere because we're walking through the harsh deserts and the terrible jungles of Africa. So, you know, it's a prolonged war. It takes a while. Okay, and you are going to move your way to the port. You are going to move your way all the way down to this port. And yeah, I don't think the Portuguese can really do much to stop us. Serbia's declared war on Bulgaria, so that is the beginning of that war now. Also, make sure you're not walking into anybody's territory that anybody else is walking in. Are these provinces not connected? No, okay. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell. The Fourth Balkan War, the country's reborn, yada yada yada. I'm not concerned with that at all. So now that you're on the coast, you usually take over all their ports. I don't think the okay, we can see some Portuguese troops are slowly arriving. Which is probably why it's of the essence that we actually take over their ports before they can actually arrive. You'll be there in 3 days. You will be in that province in 1 day. The Portuguese, though, will be arriving within probably also like 3 days. Okay, so we've taken over that port, which is wonderful news. You come down here, just in case. I'm assuming if the Portuguese are going to land anywhere, it's going to be in Angola. Okay, divisions are unassigned. So I guess you go here, march down south. It's nice that we actually are slowly deploying some troops. Okay, so now they actually have no ports in Angola. So either this means that the AI will, I think so. I don't think the AI will even still try to land here. Actually, you just Have a fallback line here. You literally just stand there and don't do anything else. You stand there and literally do nothing else. Yeah, so the Portuguese are trying to land troops in, but it's actually not working out. Yeah, so you're going to march your way here, which I think... do you go here, 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 and there like that? That'll work out fine. Apparently you still have not crossed this one province. Holy... You... 10 more days. He's been marching since the beginning of the war, so I don't even know what his excuse is, honestly. What are you guys all doing? You're still moving into the proper provinces. Fantastic. As soon as you're done there, you move up to the north. As soon as you're done there, you move here. Yeah, you move there, and then you can move back. So we'll see if the Portuguese do anything. Because again, they only have one port, and it's all the way down here in Mozambique. So that could be where they're all trying to deploy, and I wouldn't be like too surprised by that. So who's gonna also win this Balkan War? I mean, I've seen Bulgaria win, and I've seen the Belgrade Pact win. So it's kind of a coin flip. It could be anybody. Holy hell, you're still trying to march your way across. Actually, like, painful to watch. Okay, so put a front line there. You go over there. Honduras and Nicaragua has ended their hostilities, and because I saw the Nicaragua flag has changed, yeah, they are no longer syndicalist. Or totalist. I don't remember exactly what they were. So we can just ignore... So yeah, the Portuguese have landed all their troops all the way up here in Guyana. But that's not a concern of ours. Like, are they retreating? Are they? I can't tell. But they might all be going here because that's the closest port they actually have access to. Oh, Portugal. You've completely lost all your African... Or, well, most of them. Like, we're not going to take Guyana. That's, like, not going to happen. Okay, interwar artillery has been researched. We don't need war... Actually, this for 25 political power for war support. I mean, why not? So you're 1939 tech. So we are in mid-1937. Let's go for the next level of military tactics. As soon as you are done, we'll research. What can we research? Conversion speed's terrible. Let's go for a resource extraction gain, because that could probably be useful for us. You're gonna go around. You still have not entered that province. Oh, you finally have done it. It took you forever, but you managed to get it done. How long did you actually march into that province? It's gonna take you another 6 days. Like, it's just amazing how long it takes. So 2 factories, or for 5% stability. I think we want the 5% stability. Thank you very much. Again, political power is not too low, and that's a good sign. So stability goes up by 8%, paternal autocrats go up by 5%. To be public acclaim in Berlin, over 1 million people attended over the week, and successes in our administration have been on display. 1,000 performers and animals. The shows increased the grand setting of the German government and the people. Wonderful. So you are 1 day. So very soon they won't really have any colonies. I don't know when an event, or if an event, I guess I should say, will actually show up saying like, "Hey, you've defeated the Portuguese." Because again, Germany's sending all their troops down here because the AI thinks I'm going to call them into the war. I mean, I'm obviously I'm not, but the AI thinks that I am, and for the AI, that's good enough. Okay, we're gonna just slowly move around this guy. The Portuguese surrender. With the defeat of Portuguese in Africa, they have started negotiations to surrender. It is now time to decide what we want out of this war. I want everything. The oligarchs suggest we only take northern Mozambique, as was the original goal of the war. Members of the NKR suggest we take in all of Mozambique and establish security zones in Mozambique and Angola, while most radical members of the administration say we strip Portugal of all African called everything. Take it all. Fantastic. I mean, are we still at war? No, we're not. Fantastic. So our stability is still pretty bad, but it's only like 10%. Or negative 10%. Oh, in all honesty, that's not the worst thing in the world. We're going to set up a small front line here. And I'm also going to set up a small front line against the French. I'm going to put a handful of troops on this border with the French. But I'm only going to really have them... not all the way. Please, game, let me edit this front line. We're really only going to have them... like, right here. And we'll set up some battle plans. I don't know if we're ever going to be going to war with the Union of South Africa. I'm sure at some point we can intervene, because I think the Support Republic declared independence. I'm trying to exactly remember, but we'll push our way up through France like this. Okay. Legacy of all that, that's fine. Jean III, I don't know why they would think this, establishing a kingdom in North Africa would really improve their situation in France. Yeah, and you are going to... You're almost going to ready to demand the territory, but again, it doesn't matter. So we'll see what actually happens. I mean, the splits will probably give in. That is my best guess, at least. I mean, we're doing some pretty good work here, all things considered. We're currently an autonomous puppet. We can't declare wars. Technology sharing bonus is pretty bad. All autonomy gain is also not looking great. So what do we got? We upgrade to a nominal puppet. Or we'll downgrade into a chess piece that it will not tell me about. So we need 292 more chess pieces and 39 more political power. Legionary Italy's declared war on the Austrian Empire. That doesn't seem like it's going to help you out very much. I mean, you're completely outnumbered. It really depends. Is the rest of the Austro-Hungarian Empire going to declare their independence from Austria? If the answer is no, then there's absolutely no way in hell that Italy will win this, I'm pretty sure. And it looks like Bulgaria, it's losing and winning at the same point. That's depending on what front you're looking at. In the American Civil War, yeah, the federal government is already completely capitulated. Canada taking over all of its colonial holdings. And Puerto Rico being given to the Entente. So we're basically in a nice three-way Civil War situation here with the combined syndicates, the American Union State, and the Pacific States of America. We'll probably try to back Huey Long, because he's probably the one who's... Well, Huey Long or the Pacific States. The CSA is more than likely going to get involved into the Second World War whenever that actually happens. Of course, against the syndicalists in France and Britain, and of course Northern Italy as well. Houses against the Republic of China. The AOG is not looking so hot. Siamese Civil War. Where is the AOG war? There it is. Okay, so Soviet crisis has been resolved. Syndicalism spreads. Fine, whatever. So it looks like the AOG is slightly losing. They've taken more losses, but again, I'm assuming their manpower pools are just enormous. Yeah, they're pretty large. I still kind of think I see the Republic of China winning very slowly. Like, very, very slowly. So how is the Japanese war going with the Russian Republic? I mean, again, they're fighting a two-front war. They do have a massive, massive army, but... so does Japan, to be honest. Yeah, the Cairo Pact is beginning to form. You have 6 to 12 divisions. You have 4 to 8. Oh, wait, Korea's not part of Japan? When did that happen? I mean, they're still at war with, I guess none of them are actually in a faction. Are you a puppet state? You are a puppet state. Never mind, I'm just dumb. So we'll see what happens. The Alash Order, I think, did take more territory here. Capital right now is Kazan. What a weird place for your capital to be. But sure. So what are we going to do? Second thing here. Research people is 3%. Social liberalism goes down. 2 civilian factories. Some research bonuses. Time for change. After January of 38. We're not going to look at that quite yet. Did more social liberals show up? Yeah, they did. So political power, stability, manpower goes down by 10,000. political power plus 40. 1938 budget, industry. Like, none of this stuff really seems like it's super great. I mean, it's just all for, like, researches and stuff, which I'm not, like, super interested in. Social liberalism. Well, let's... More stability. Let's at least, I think, be positive stability, right? Yeah, let's at least go our way into a positive stability. So we'll get some German education for the children. That should be A-okay. And is there anything we can do about South Africa? I'm sure at some point we can. I mean, South Africa, 4 to 6 divisions. They're pretty weak. You know, we're looking pretty, these are pretty nice borders, you gotta say, for our little, African colony. Or our massive African state, I should say. We can modify our government because we have 90 political power, but do I want to really spend it on anything? What would I want to do here? Right now, we are paternal autocrats. Technical specialists, research speed plus 1%. Supply consumption goes down, but none of those guys really interest me too much. I don't want any of these to market roles. Political power gain, research speed. I think we're kind of fine doing nothing. What's the political power? At the moment, of course, at some point we will make use of it. How many men do the French have? The French have 18 to 35 divisions. That's quite a bit. It's significantly more than what I have at the moment. And what are we at? We're still missing 4.4 thousand rifles. Train up more troops. 11 divisions just in training. At least to get the manpower sorted out, so we can actually see how much we have for reinforcements. Well, we really need guns. And the question is, how are we going to get those guns? That's a great question. The answer to that I don't actually know. Yeah, so these are colony states. I don't know what's considered core states, what's considered colony states. You're considered core. You're considered core. But this is considered colony up here, so I'm not too sure. Got one more unassigned division. I'm going to assign him up to the north because, you know, the French Republic, or I guess the Kingdom of France at this point, is a bigger threat to us. It really depends on if we're going to go to war with the Entente or not. Send in the army. Political power gain. Weak disability goes up. That's not too bad. Political power cost goes down. Recovery rates, recruit population factor, but it's only for 180 days. Which honestly is not that bad. So let's send in the army. We're spending all of our political power to do that, but it's probably worth it. Probably. Yeah, so the unsurprisingly, the Italians are completely losing against the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Not a big surprise there. Wait, why can I see this? Oh, because the Germans are up here. I guess you know what? Did they send volunteer forces? Yes, they did. Is anybody volunteering you? No. I mean, I could probably send... No, I can't. I need at least 20 divisions. So there's something I can do here. Those like Canadians are also helping. So apparently nobody likes the Japanese. They're not fans. I'm assuming they're actually probably sending troops to try to fight against the Soviet Union. That's probably why the volunteers are actually there, but they're getting sent to fight the Japanese anyways. Argentina and nationalist Chile. So yeah, Argentina has definitely won the battle there. They are securing some strength for themselves. Our ethnological expedition is defeated in Vienna. Fantastic. Even more stability, 4%. We're actually no longer in the negatives. And I take that as being good news for us. Of course, we're still not actually using artillery or anything like that, but that's fine. Amphibious tanks, all these are available in 1939. That's a little bit too far ahead for what we're really interested in. But I will improve infantry defense. Even though it's slightly ahead of time. It doesn't make a huge difference, I don't think. There's, you know, Spain still has colonies down here. If I can take over the Spanish colonies as well, that'd be a good for us. All of you guys go into South Africa. You guys are still fine in Western Africa where you are. How big is the Kingdom of France's Air Force? About 150 planes. About twice the size of ours. But I do think it's going to be a good time to end this episode. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, remember thumbs up. If you not enjoyed, click thumbs down. If you want to see me, subscribe, and goodbye.